This lesson has been developed in the framework of SCILED project.
Module 1, Footwear Performance and Comfort. Unit 1, What is comfort in footwear?
Lesson 1.2. This lesson aims to understand consumers' needs with market segmentations.
Fashion trends predict consumers' need.
Transforming consumers' needs related to comfort into design specifications. How to communicate comfort to the targeted user.
Understand consumers' needs with market segmentations.
Footwear is a type of product with a complex and multifaceted nature.
Gender, age, context of use, and model are all factors capable of influencing a user's requests and needs.
This fact highlights the complexity of footwear and its relationship with humans. The shoe can be and serves very different purposes, sometimes opposite, depending on the situation. For example, it can be a technical object, a fetish, or even represent social status. This makes one consumer different from the other and segments the market. Comfort is also considered a key factor in the purchase of a shoe and therefore a cluster of consumers. Already in 1985, Slater proposed the idea that comfort was derived from a physical and a psychological part. The physical part is made up of tangible and objective stimuli and the psychological part is made up of subjective sensations. This is linked to the feelings related to the context and culture that affect people in a different way. To proceed with a correct segmentation, it is important to know what the main factors are and when and how they jump in. Over time, various researches have been carried out to understand what were the main factors capable of influencing the comfort feeling of a shoe. Although often with psychological, physical factors always appear. One of the first to investigate comfort and its physiological nature was Kamijo, who compared the comfort of the shoe to that of seating and proposed 5 main comfort components. After that, many other studies have been developed, such as the one of O and Guntulk, which synthesized the physiological factors that emerged from their research in
size, temperature and humidity, discomfort during dressing.
Taking into account these macro groups, it is possible to integrate further categorizations considering previous studies. The anthropometry of the foot, the fit of the shoe, the alignment of the skeleton, the internal temperature of the shoe, and the properties of the materials, can certainly be considered factors that affect the general comfort of a shoe. As previously mentioned, psychological factors also influence the comfort of a shoe. McNeil and Riello identify 6 key factors linked to the person and capable of playing a key role during the purchase of a shoe: fashion, style, personality, sexuality, social class and sex. Later on, O and Guntulk, in the aforementioned research, find clusters more closely related to footwear and which can be considered as elements capable of differentiating the market. These are
unpleasant smells, textures, sensations, sounds.
Cultures have different customs regarding footwear, both in terms of use and meaning. We have to mention that also the context can influence the comfort. For example, consider the Italian and Japanese ceremonial shoes. The two types are used for the same category of events, but their nature is different in terms of culture, meaning and context of use. In fact, as Margot de Mello claims in his Feet and Footwear book, the meaning and thus the motivation that lies behind a new pair of shoes is mostly based on the culture.
Fashion trend, predicting consumers' needs.
The word trend originates from the Latin term tendere. In its modern meaning is related with the ideas of propensity, inclination, and driven movement. Based on those meanings, the semantic concept of trend rests on 3 main pillars: otherness, movement, coverage. In the general sense of the word, a trend is the predisposed inclination towards something, someone or some situation likely to happen in the near future and that will finish. Henrik Vilgaard believes that trends are an extensive phenomenon and concern various aspects of everyday life, from food to television, from dress to behavior. Like some authors, Vilgaard divides different types of trends. For him and for most, fashion trends are extremely short, because they last only about 1 or 2 seasons.
The fashion forecast becomes the one of moods, behaviors, and buying habits of consumers in certain seasons. Therefore, it is not just a matter of finding a market or new target, sell zone or price, but of understanding what consumers buy based on their
cultures, moods, beliefs, events, and recurring trends that play major roles.
The trend forecasting results are mainly influenced by the end user but also by
season, colors, fabrics, silhouette, texture, and usage.
To forecast a trend, it is not enough to Google Winter 2020 trend, but rather a more in-depth and detailed analysis of people at 360 degrees is necessary. There are two types of tools that can be used:
online and offline.
For online, it is possible to watch and follow the reports of the forecasting agencies. These collaborate with companies and prove important insights on trends that will be around only after 2 years. Their reports are often online but with limitations. Their blogs are totally accessible and provide a great source of inspiration. There are also specialized sites capable of providing very useful and precise data. Also, influencers and opinion leaders are a good source of data, and it is possible to follow them through social media. Offline resources such as exhibitions, fairs and events are important too. From these it is possible to obtain precious data.
Transforming consumers' needs related to comfort into design specifications.
The transformation of requests into objectives to be pursued during the design process is never a simple task. During the purchasing, the customer is not completely aware of his/her physiological perceptions, especially about comfort. Therefore, it is important to receive correct inputs before producing a project brief, in order to have the correct directions while designing. Data collection often involves different departments and company figures, from the sales to the marketing department. This highlights that there are more sources and methods of data collection, and each company applies the most appropriate and effective methodologies. The information can be collected through physical or digital channels that can produce quantitative or qualitative data. While the former can be easily translated into statistics thanks to the very large sample, qualitative data provides a deeper understanding of people's motivations, ways of thinking, and attitudes. Both types can be managed with various tools and methodologies such as questionnaires, interviews, best practices, field observations, workshops, or focus groups. The mentioned methods can be used to obtain any type of information, even with specific focuses, such as comfort, sustainability, performance, aesthetics, etc. The feelings and sensations that a shoe may cause are also important for the purchase. As a consequence, calculation and comparison methods have been developed, such as
Stevens' 3 formulas for calculating J&D, just notable difference, Conseil engineering, and the Kano method for the estimation of sensation and emotions.
Professional equipment can be used to obtain data related to the physiological field of comfort.
High-speed cameras, motion capture, baropodometric strength platforms are all valid tools and widely used in data collection.
Companies such as Nike and Adidas make extensive use of it during all the design phases, from the data collection to the verification of the results. Once the necessary data has been collected and the brief has been defined, it is possible to proceed with the design phase, during which the information collected is carried out. To verify the comfort of the new shoes, there are various methods that can be used during different phases of the design process.
The CAE software allows you to make the first checks using previously scanned virtual foot and a 3D model of the shoe. Later, using a prototype of the shoe, it is possible to carry out fitting and sizing tests with a user. Finally, once reached the final stages of the design, it is possible to carry out tests with specific machineries.
How to communicate comfort to the targeted user.
Storytelling and communication is another step of relationship with the consumer. It is possible to find different ways to achieve the goal to transfer values like comfort. Colors, shapes, and details of the shoe can be an effective first means of communication. Digital instruments do the lion's share. Social networks, websites, sponsorship, and advertising are methods capable of achieving excellent results and affecting different targets.
An example can be the campaigns developed by Vans for its Comfy Cush technology and Chico for natural footprint.
A widely used method is to give voice to athletes or influencers through fast and engaging communication methods like social networks. Building collaborations and agreements with these figures allow companies to increase the reputation of the brand and to communicate directly about the qualities of their products.